All right, good morning. I'm gonna try and knock this out pretty quickly because my camera is about to die. I recorded a video quite a while ago about my experience coming out in the Marine Corps. I received a couple questions on a few videos regarding my experiences being a gay police officer. So we'll try and make a quick synopsis of that event. A little background: I spent about 4.5 years in the Marine Corps as an infantryman. I got out in February of 2020, at which point I pretty immediately found a job in law enforcement here in Tennessee, where I currently reside. I've been working as a SWAT officer with my current agency for almost 5 years now. So, long story short, I originally came out, like, origin story wise, I came out when I was 17, when I was still living at home with my parents. That did not go well. I kind of touched on it in the coming out in the Marine Corps video, but I think that entire topic will be a video for another day. We went over my experience coming out in the Marine Corps, and you'll find if you haven't come out before, that you end up doing it quite a bit. You do it a lot. Growing as an adult, you experience so many different social groups, from job to job, school to school. You're going to find yourself doing it quite a bit. So I generally like to establish myself in a new place prior to making that part of me known to others. It's not due to a fear, a fear being treated differently, but being honest with yourself, me being honest with myself. There are stigmas associated with gay men. There are stereotypes associated with being gay. So I like to establish myself as a high performer in my field prior to letting people know about that part of me. Keeping in mind that my sexuality is a very small portion of who I am as a person. So again, I get hired at this agency. No one knows I'm gay. Again, that's how I like to keep it. I got hired with 4 other individuals at this time. One of them I became very close with platonically. We became very close friends. And at that point, I did come to trust him. And at some point I told him, hey, I like guys. And he was fine with it. Everything was chill. We were still great friends. We went through the academy together. Still maintained a close friendship. And the one thing about this type of career field, whether it's military, law enforcement, these high testosterone, type A personality fields, it's always a competition. There's a competition to be the best, because when you are the best, you're treated as the golden child. You get everything that you need, promotions, what have you. It's the same as being in a team sport, right? The starters, the quarterback, the studs. Everyone wants to be the golden child. So when we finished the academy, got into our field training phases, essentially him and I were fighting for this position as the top performer. There was a lot of jealousy taking place, a lot of ego getting in the way from both of our sides. And eventually it got to the point, I guess for him, where he was so threatened by my performance that he did decide to violate my trust in him and out me. So it's the second time I've been outed, being in a work environment. And I'm used to it. Like I said, it's happened before. It happened in the Marine Corps. It happened here. At this point, I know it's going to happen, and I'm pretty much prepared for it every time. So at that point, everyone did know. I'd finished my field training program, and I was officially on my own, working as a sworn law enforcement officer. A week after that, I had my SWAT tryout. And generally, you can't just hop into a SWAT tryout. You have to spend years on the road before you're able to try out for a specialty position. But based on my background and my performance thus far, my command staff was very okay with me trying out. And so going into this tryout and knowing that everyone knew my little secret, I knew that I had to perform the best I've ever performed, and I knew that going into it. And so I did. I was the top pick in the tryout. Myself and I believe 4 other applicants. So 3 of us were picked out of 4 of us. And again, I was the top pick. I was the, at the time, the youngest person on the team, and the youngest person career-wise as far as my time in service there on the team. And to this day, I am still that individual. But yeah, it's not too much to talk about. Having been there for almost 5 years now, and being a so-called double minority, I'm the only black officer at this agency, and I'm one of like 4 in the entire county. The county's made up of probably 500 total law enforcement officers. So there's not many people that look like me, and there's not many people that live like me, for lack of a better term. But it has been an incredible experience working for the agency that I do. They've welcomed me with open arms, from the lowest ranking officer all the way up to the chief of police. And I'm incredibly grateful that they have treated me like I wish my parents did, or at least my mother did at the time. They treat me like my parents should have. And I can't say now, unfortunately, but in the near future, I'll be able to identify them specifically and give them the credit that they deserve for being a very welcoming place, a place that I truly consider to hold my family. So one day they'll see this likely, and one day I'll be able to thank them publicly for what they've done for me. But until then, that was my experience thus far.